Okay, guys. Today we're gonna be showing this little fella about Blue Eyes. So what do you know about Blue Eyes, Cole?
What do I know about Blue Eyes?
What do you know about Blue Eyes? What do you think they do?
Well, I can't say I fought too many Blue Eyes players around Master Duel. So about all I know about Blue Eyes is Big Dragon, and you John a lot about them.
I don't John about them. They're freaking broken. It all started with the anime, bro. Kaiba, shout out Kaiba. He's a cool character. He's really cool. We can all agree on that, right?
Of course, of course.
Yo, man.
I
Legacy
thought you meant the
support?
archetype.
Legacy support, though, for this freaking dragon. First of all, I want to let you know, dragons are the second most supported type of monster in the game. Second only to warriors, I'm pretty sure. Third is spellcasters. So, that alone gives it a huge advantage over other types, like fairies. I'm just putting it out there. It's also a light attribute, which makes it like super synergizable. Light and dark and earth are like the three like golden attributes. Yeah, light, dark, and earth. So this alone gives another advantage. You see its level, Cole?
Level 8.
See that level?
What about it? What about it?
I want you to read this one card. Let me make it huge.
Your opponent cannot target this card with card effects. You can detach one material from this card. Take 2 dragon number monsters with different names from your extra deck and or graveyard. Except this card. Special summon one of them and attach the other to it as material. Also, for the rest of this turn, you cannot special summon other monsters or declare an attack, except with that special summon monster. You can only use this effect of number 97 once per turn.
Okay, so that sounds pretty good, right?
Sounds alright, I guess.
This is one of the monsters you would summon with it. Because it's a number monster. So once per turn, when a spell card is, or an effect is activated on the field, quick effect, you can negate that, and if you do, attach that card to this card as a material. And when an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can detach one material from this card and change the attack target to this card, and then perform like damage calculation. If another exceeds monster you control is destroyed by battle or by card effect, you can target one face-up exceeds monster you control. It gains attack equal to one of those destroyed monsters' original attack. So like that's pretty good. You would use this and summon this on the first turn. And
Okay.
this is the card you would summon on the second turn. And they go in second to ODK your opponent. Number 100 Numeron Dragon. So normally you would need to like go through a ton of crazy things to summon this. But no. You just cheat it out. Once per turn you can detach a material from this card. This card gains attack equal to the combined ranks of all exceeds monsters on the field times 100. So this card and then the other card alone, number 97, would be 9,000 attack. And normally that would be pretty good, but usually you could summon 2 exceeds monsters, so that'd be even more attack. So it would OTK your opponent. You can destroy as many monsters on the field as possible. Wait, when this card is destroyed by a card effect, you can destroy as many cards on the field. That part doesn't matter. It's just like it gains attack equal to the rank. So 8,000 plus 8,000 plus 1,000. That's killing most people. I'm just putting it out there. So that's usually what they do. That's usually strategy. Sometimes they summon this monster. It's a good card, you know. It's mostly for photons though, but like it does pretty good stuff.
Well, I see losers use the Numeron Dragon all the time without using the Blue Eyes.
Yeah, that's besides the point. Like they're like one and the same. They're like modeled the same kinda. You know, they do the same thing basically. But one thing that Blue Eyes has over Galaxy Eyes is that it's also a synchro archetype too, because for some reason it needs that. So like this one, like if it's sent to the graveyard, you can special summon a Blue Eyes from your graveyard. It doesn't matter what monster. It could be any monster. And then you can banish this card to add a Blue Eyes to your hand. You know, like basic stuff. So like you would summon level 9s with that because it's 1 plus 8 equals 9. This is a pretty good card, you know. Neither player can supposed to summon 2 or more monsters at the same time, so you can't pendulum summon against this. Once per turn, when an effect is activated in the graveyard, you can negate it. And then another quick effect, you contribute this card supposed to summon another card called Azure Eyes. I don't know why I don't have it in here, but it basically makes all dragons you control like immune to effects, and it puts itself in the graveyard. Then you can use this card to single summon it again. You have 2 9s on the field, two level 9s, and then you summon this card. You know what True King does, Cole?
That card is banned.
I know, that's what they used to do. But now they're going back to the Numeron part.
I don't know what it does.
So basically, you just detach it to the material on your opponent's turn. Then you declare the type, and then your opponent cannot summon or do anything with that declared type.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, it makes your opponent not be able to play the game. And Blue Eyes players love to do that, so. Have you seen Wayne? Also, it has this card too. You know this card already.
Well, that card's cool.
It is cool, but like they use it, you know, and it's a good card. Like, it's also a dragon. Coincidence?
Oh, interesting point.
Yeah. Anyways, let's go back to the monsters. This used to be the freaking most broken thing ever in old school Yu-Gi-Oh! This is like way back when. So whenever a card, like if you try to attack it or activate an effect to target it, it just turned into defense once with some of the Blue Eyes.
Oh, what the hell? It says, I was reading it and I was like, oh, it's just card effects. But then I kept reading it and it says, oh, the battle does it too.
Yeah. So you just know, like, what Blue Eyes players used to do back then. Also, it's a tuner, so that already has a ton of synergy too. But back in the day, you just normal summon it and put some face downs down and just ended your turn, because you know they're not gonna think beat over that. And then you would use that, and the Blue Eyes you summon to exceed summon like one of these and stuff. But like now they do it a lot faster. These ones are pretty mediocre. I know this one's really good. I don't remember what it does though. People stop playing it after a while. When this card's almost summoned, you can add level 1 to your hand. Except this card, you can discard this card. Target an effect until you control, send it to the graveyard, and if you just supposed to summon 1 Blue Eyes from your deck. This one's pretty good. I don't know what synergies it has. This one I know is awful, so I don't know why it's in there. Also, Kaiba Man.
Holy shit.
It's actually you, Cole. Bad guy.
Literally me. I'm actually Kaiba Man.
So this is basically a 1-card Blue Eyes. You just normal summon and supposed to summon a Blue Eyes from your hand. Like, it's basic. That's like what the strategy used to be back then. Just summon a big monster. But you know, the face downs that they had were kind of crazy.
Dude, I had to deal with that card today. Fuck that card.
Exactly, that's what they do. It's just big beefs, big normal monsters with floodgates. Like, come on. Like, come on. This one's a cool card, though. I like that they made it, but still, it's like freaking like crazy. If you control Blue Eyes or a Dark Magician, negate the effects of all face-up monsters your opponent currently controls until the end of the turn. You can only activate one of them per turn. Trap card has synergy with trap tricks and stuff. It's a good card, right, Cole?
Pretty good card.
Yeah, and then I don't know what this one really does. Target 1 Blue Eyes you control this turn. That face-up monster is unaffected by opponent's card effect except its own. So you can target the fusion monsters and stuff. It cannot be destroyed by battle. Also, any opponent's monster is destroyed by battle. It's destroyed by battle when this card. If you normal summon a Blue Eyes. Okay, so basically it's like you can activate it twice. Okay, that's fine. Also, another thing they used to do that they thought it was so fun: Ancient Rules. This card doesn't even take up a normal summon. That's how good it is. So they just summon it.
That's a very generic card.
It is. It's just generic. You know, it's a normal monster, but Blue Eyes is a normal monster. That's what they used to do back then.
Yeah.
Now, Cole, you're thinking like, man, this sounds pretty basic actually. You're right, but then they have cards like Trade-in that, you know, they love to be in the graveyard. By the way, I bet you noticed that by now. They love being in the graveyard, so you just discard a brick in your hand to draw 2. It's crazy. I'm not gonna show you Dragon Link just yet. Let's go back to the monsters. Kaiba Man, Dictator of D. When you control a Blue Eyes monster, your opponent, you choose the attack targets of your opponent's attacks. So if you control this card and Blue Eyes, you can make your opponent attack the Blue Eyes. Yeah, you can only activate one of these effects once per turn. You can send a Blue Eyes monster from your hand or deck to the graveyard, special summon this card from your hand. You can discard a Blue Eyes White Dragon on one card that mentions it, then target a Blue Eyes in your graveyard, special summon it. So basically, this is a whole enabler now. That's crazy. They just got this card, by the way. They just got it.
That's a new card.
It's a new card.
Really, the art doesn't look like it.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it's an old like monster, but like they like revitalized it in a way. It's supposed to be Lord of D, but they just changed it up a bit. Let me look up Lord of D.
They got even more support.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna show you some more soon. There it is. This is what it originally looked like. Neither player can target dragon monsters on the field with card effects.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. And then you get this. Also, the King of D. Oh my gosh, I completely forgot about this little line of cards. So, they have cards that are like Bohemian Rhapsody and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And Melody of the Awakening Dragons, which just adds cards to your hand for free. So they have that whole thing, and this card searches them all. Let me show you the related... Ew. Let me show you the related cards. Okay, the Flute Summoning Dragon. What does this card do? Special summon 2 dragon monsters from your hand. And then Lord of D must be on the field. That's pretty good. It's from your hand, so it's not that good, right? Okay, let's see what a Melody of Awakening Dragon does. He's freaking ripping on the guitar, by the way. Discard a card to add 2 dragon monsters with 3,000 attack and 3,000 or 15, 2,500 attack or defense from your hand to your, from your deck to your hand. It adds Blue Eyes to your hand, okay? By discarding the card. But that stat line must be really rare, right, Cole? You would think that?
Of course.
Like I honestly would think that's pretty rare. Let's see what Dragon Revival Rhapsody looks like. Is that a JoJo's reference, by the way? If you control a spellcaster monster, which is the Lord of D, King of D, and then Dictator of D, they all are spellcasters that support dragons. Like, come on. Spellcasters should stick in their own lane, but I'm just putting it out there. Continue. You can target up to 2 dragon monsters in your graveyard, including at least 1 normal monster, supposed to summon them. Your opponent takes no damage this turn. You don't play this card, but that's besides the point. I'm just putting it out there. Okay, okay. So, we saw that whole little line of cards, so that was pretty neat. All because of this card. The newest version of it, by the way. Now let's go to some of the actual dragons now. Like let's see that. Wow, that stat line. That's crazy. You can add it to your hand with Melody of Awakening Dragon. That's pretty cool. Can't be a normal summoner set. That cards must be awful, right, Cole?
Oh yeah, it's shit.
Yeah, you can't normal summon it. That's stupid. Like you're a vampire player, right? Like come on. Like this doesn't make any sense.
Oh yeah, my vampire deck that I just made today.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see what it does. Must be special summon from your hand, okay, by revealing the Blue Eyes from your hand. Doesn't Melody of Awakening Dragon add 2 cards to your hand? It does. That's the question. It does. So you add this one and then Blue Eyes to your hand, and then you reveal it, special summon. Once per turn, you can banish a card. A monster, I'm pretty sure, right? Yeah, target 1 monster your opponent controls. I banished it. Destroy it. Sorry, my fault. Destroy it. That's the other cards. I'm getting too soon. I cannot attack the turn of summon. That must be a really bad restriction. It's not. You just link it off or you use it as an excuse material. It's used to break boards basically. Okay, Dragon is Spirit White. It's always treated as a Blue Eyes card. So this card's not a Blue Eyes by name, but it's treated as a Blue Eyes. That's interesting, right? That's interesting. Okay, so this card's the stat line, ruins it a little bit. If it was 3,000, it'd be broken though, so I'm glad. This card is treated as a normal monster while in the hand or graveyard. So it's an effect monster that's treated as a normal monster, but it's not a Gemini. I'm just saying, Red Eyes got stuck with Gemini monsters, and here Blue Eyes are cheating to try to be normal monsters still. I'm just putting it out there. Continue. So you can revive it too with Dragon Revival Rhapsody. Okay, so continue. When this card is normal summon or special summon, you never normal summon in this. You never need a normal summon in this card, so you special summon it. Usually from the graveyard or something. You can target one spell or trap card your opponent controls, banish it. Okay. And if your opponent controls a monster, quick effect, you can tribute this card to summon a Blue Eyes from your hand.
I'm noticing there's a lot of cards that are just summon this card first and then get rid of it or don't get rid of it. It's up to you, and then just summon Blue Eyes.
Yeah. From your hand. So like the card advantage is pretty bad, but like they don't mind that because they use the graveyard even more than they use their own hand. So continue. So like that's what like one of the strategies is. Like you use these cards like that to like summon it, then you just do something and then you get Blue Eyes back out. So they clear the way for Blue Eyes. Basically, they clear the way. Solid Dragon is an okay card. It's like Spirited Dragon, but like so when this card is normal special summon, you can target one opponent's monster and negate its effects. It's a permanent negate effect, which normally is a good thing, but Blue Eyes have such a high attack that usually you would just beat over that card anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So it gets its effects back then. So when your opponent activates a card effect, you can shuffle this card from the field to the deck, and then special summon a Blue Eyes from your deck. That one's better than Dragon Spirit White in that regard. Like it's special summons from the deck, so that's pretty good.
That is much better.
This is not even a Blue Eyes card. What is it even doing here? They use it regardless. Okay, they use this card anyways. They can search it with Melody of Awakening Dragons because it has 2,000 attack and like less than 2,000, 2,500 attack defense. Oh my gosh, sorry. Numbers are freaking messing me up. So then how do you summon this card? You special summon it from your hand by banishing 3 light or dark monsters from your graveyard. Okay? When summoned this way, you can activate these effects. Okay, so you would only get the light one. You can mix some darks in there. Maybe some dangers or something. But usually it's only light. Okay. It's a level 8. Special summon one monster from your graveyard in defense position. This is an 8. You can special summon any of these cards that I've just mentioned. This one, Blue Eyes, even some of these cards down here. Maybe even this card, I don't know. Go crazy, go you. Yeah, so like it just facilitates more just stuff. It facilitates the XC summoning, it facilitates these guys. It's helped out by Melody of Awakening Dragon. It's just like and it's not Blue Eyes by name, but it's a Blue Eyes card. You play it in Blue Eyes. But like it's a generic dragon that supports Blue Eyes. Who would have thought? Continue. Hey, what's this card? Nebula Dragon. You can reveal this card in another level 8 monster in your hand. I wonder what card you reveal. Special summon both in defense position, but negate their effects. Normal monsters doesn't have an effect, so it doesn't matter at all. But let's continue. Also, you cannot normal summon or special summon monsters for the rest of the turn except light or dark dragon monsters. That is not a restriction at all. Okay, nobody cares about that. Continue. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one level 4 light or dark dragon in your graveyard. Add it to your hand. That comes up sometimes. It doesn't matter. So it's a level 8. The special summons another level 8. So it's a free Xyz monster. Xyz summon. It's not a Blue Eyes, but they played in the Blue Eyes regardless. Continue. You can search it with Melody. No, you can't search it with Melody. I'm pretty sure. No, you can't. You can't. Okay, this one you can't search. But regardless, you even saw Yo-Yo Pizza play it. You saw Yo-Yo Pizza play it. I'm just putting it out there.
Oh, if Yo-Yo Pizza is using that card, it can't be good.
It can't be good. Continue. Okay, Blue Eyes Abyss Dragon. First of all, that card art, I can't lie, it's pretty fire. It's like really cool looking. I don't know what they're trying to go with it. It's kind of like all over the place. And why does it have like kind of like trying to have like human-like legs? I don't know, but the wings.
So you're the guy who made that 4chan post.
The wings are cool. We don't talk about that, Cole. Anyways, continue. If this card is special summon, okay, you can add a ritual spell or a polymerization card from your deck to your hand. So it facilitates a ritual summoning and polymerization aspects of the deck. With one card. Continue. So you play it if you do the ritual or polymerization part of the deck. Because it has those for some reason, you know. Dark Magician doesn't have any of that stuff. I mean, it has ritual summoning, it has polymerization stuff, but it doesn't have a card that I think facilitates it. It gives it the flexibility it needs, like this card can. It's also level 8, so it's also broken. Then during your end phase, you can add a dragon from a deck to your hand. Because it needs that for some reason, you know what I'm saying, Cole? It needs that. You can banish this card from your graveyard. All level 8 or higher monsters you control gain 1,000 attack. They're already beefy dragons. Continue.
I think it deserves it.
I think you're wrong. Continue. You can you can only use one of these effects once per turn, and you can only activate them while you control Blue Eyes. So that's a pretty good restriction. But how would it even get to the graveyard in the first place? We'll find out later. Jet, an anime reference, and some of the newest support. They just added this to Master Duel, by the way. Okay.
Okay.
I haven't even read it that much myself, so I'm going to read it with you. Other cards you control cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. That's pretty good. Okay, that's good. You know, the beaters need protection. Okay?
Right, first sentence.
Yeah. You can only activate the following effects of Jet once per turn. You can only activate while you control a Blue Eyes monster that's on your field or graveyard. So you can only activate these effects if there's a Blue Eyes on the field or graveyard. That's a fair restriction, because it's a restriction. It's supposed to be a restriction, right? It's a restriction. It's a restriction, right? It's a restriction. I think that would be like the baseline basic combo. Like you would have it in the graveyard or hand. Continue. If a monster on the field is destroyed by battle or by card effect, you can special summon this card from your graveyard. It's level 8, so you can trade in with it. If there was when a card was destroyed or by hand, even if so. Okay. Then at the end of the damage step, if this card battles, you can target one of your opponent's cards, return it to the hand. Wow. That card's very good. Okay, there's a couple ways to get to the graveyard. You can link it off or something, send it to the graveyard, and then activates its effect to special summon it back to the field. So that's pretty. The things you can do with this are kind of crazy, because like you would think that getting cards to the graveyard are hard, but it's not. It's never the case. You can link them off. You can use them as like siege material, then use the effect to detach. Like linking off is like usually the way to go, but you guys don't do that, so you guys don't understand how broken that is. So then you use it for a card, and then you get it back for free for no reason. Continue.
Damn, Dragon Maid's players.
We don't talk about that. Anyways, Shinin is a movie card. Okay, it's not good. It's just a card that, you know, on paper it sounds pretty fun, but you have that card as the Red Eyes Sword card, the fusion card, Cole. You have that effect a little bit better actually. It's that effect on this card, but you don't gain that 1,000.
Oh, I see.
And also, if a card or effect is activated that targets this card, you can just negate it for free. But to summon it, you need to tribute an Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, so you need to tribute a fusion monster just to get a basic card out. No, I'm good. Thank you though. Anyways, continue. Tell me this card art isn't cool though. I like how they have it's like an angel in a way.
Deep eyes. That's cool, man.
It's like an angel in a way. Continue. Deep eyes. It's called ColeBadguy White Dragon.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah. Anyways, When when a Blue Eyes monster you control is destroyed by battle or by an opponent's card effect, and you have a dragon type monster in your graveyard, you can special summon this card from your hand. Okay, and if you do, inflict 600 damage to your opponent for each dragon type monster with different names in your graveyard. So it has that for some reason. You continue. If this card is normal summon or special summon, target one dragon monster in your graveyard. This monster's attack becomes equal to that monster's attack. So it gains stats because it's 0. So when a card is destroyed, it special summons itself, special summons another dragon from the graveyard to the field, inflicts burn damage to your opponent, then it gains stats to a dragon in the graveyard. That's crazy. Continue. Target one dragon monster. Okay, I worry about that part. If this card is on the field destroyed by your opponent's card effect, destroy all monsters your opponent controls. So it's basically it has a Regeki in it for some reason too. Continue. It needs that. Blue Eyes needs cards like this. It needs cards like this. I'm telling you, it needs them. It really needs. You could give a card like this to Parshath? I'm just putting it out there, guys. Come on, Konami. Continue. Okay, so we're gonna go to the rituals type. There's like 3 ritual monsters, but they're all really good. Except this one. This one's pretty mediocre.
So, is this ran in conjunction with normal Blue Eyes, or is there like a whole other deck for the ritual cards?
You can build Blue Eyes in any way that you see fit. Okay, that's the strength of Blue Eyes. You can do a stun Blue Eyes deck, which like negates your effects, and then just have really beefy monsters that beat over them. You can use ritual monsters. You can do the ritual aspect, the fusion aspect. You can do the Xyz. You can do a link aspect. Blue Eyes is a toolbox archetype, so that means you can build it however you want. So you can't
do all those things at once.
It could be like 2 things at once. It could be like an Xyz fusion, an Xyz link. It could be an Xyz ritual. There's many ways to build it. So you can't build a deck to beat it because like the sheer like versatility of it is crazy. That's another thing I hate about it. Because the normal generic dragon cards facilitate that even more. Continue. I'm sorry, that's my little rant. Continue. Paladin of White Dragon. You can ritual summon this card with a ritual card, but you can also use any ritual card that can help ritual summon this. Okay. So this card, since it's an old card, they used to like think that that you would use the original ritual spell to ritual summon it, kind of like Demise. You know how Demise you need to use like End of the World and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They kind of ruined those cards with this line of text. So basically, at the start of the damage step, if this card attacks a face down card, it destroys it. It doesn't do damage to it. It doesn't attack it. It destroys it before it attacks it. And you contribute this card to summon a Blue Eyes from your hand or deck. But Blue Eyes White Dragons can't attack for the rest of the turn. So it's a pretty bad card. It's a ritual summon. It's special summons from the deck, but you can use that Blue Eyes card, the Blue Eyes White Dragon, to like do more things. Because it only restricts Blue Eyes White Dragon, like monsters from attacking, like the Blue Eyes White Dragon itself, the normal monster. So you can like use it with anything, and then like it can you can do stuff. So it's you don't play it anymore, but it was a good card. I want you to read this card, Cole.
Alright, here we go. Oh, this one's a classic. I don't know what it does, though. You can ritual summon this card with Chaos form. Must be ritual summoned. Your opponent cannot target this card with card effects. Also, it cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. If this card attacks a defense position monster, inflict double piercing damage.
Look at that attack.
Yeah, I see it.
So you're telling me
my new and improved vampire deck. I have a couple cards in there with 0 defense, so that would be kind of funny to meet one of those.
You're kind of forgetting something too, by the way. Where is it? This card facilitates the ritual summoning. Right?
Oh. You know, I was focusing on polymerization earlier.
It's also a fusion spell.
Yeah.
So you use this as the ritual material, right? Because it's the right level. Then you can banish it to make your Chaos Max Dragon at 5,000 attack. So you need 2,000 defense to freaking live that. You need more than 2,000 defense to live that. I'm just putting it out there. I think it's 2,000 defense. I'm not good with math on the spot. But yeah, I started to, no, I truly truly started to despise Blue Eyes when they got this card, cause it's just uncalled for. Like the sheer like what it does. Why do they need this? I mean, it's a movie reference. I don't know why they need it though. People usually don't play the rituals aspect of it though. Continue. Now read Chaos Dragon. That was Chaos Max Dragon. You're reading Chaos Dragon now.
You can ritual summon this card with Chaos Form.
You don't have to use Chaos Form, by the way. Continue.
Your opponent cannot target this card with card effects. Cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. If this card is ritual summoned using Blue Eyes White Dragon, when it declares an attack, you can change the battle positions of as many monsters your opponent controls as possible. And if you do, the attack and defense of those changed monsters become 0. Also, this turn, if this card attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing battle damage.
You can make a deck that summons both of them. So that's death right there.
So you make everything have 0, and then you inflict your double piercing battle damage.
Yeah. Cause again, where is it? This card facilitates that. Okay. So that's the whole ritual little aspect, and do I have them? Do I have them in here? Here is the one for like the small one. This card sucks. You don't use this card. You use advanced. Hopefully I spelled that right. Oh yeah, I need to get rid of this. Okay. Okay, maybe I'm just being a little autistic right now. Give me a second. Here it is, sorry. You usually use this card, by the way, to facilitate that. To ritual summon those cards, you use this card. So this card can be used to ritual summon any one ritual monster. So you don't need to use those specific monsters, by the way. You must also send a normal monster from your deck to the graveyard whose level equals the ritual monster. So you summon the chaos monsters with this. So you just summon them, activate because you activate this, send a Blue Eyes to the graveyard, and then summon this. Summon them. So that this card is really good, and also you also use Chaos Form, because you play both because they're both really good. Oh yeah, Blue Eyes also. I mean, Dark Magician also has one too, and you played in Dark Magicians because it's good. You discard it and stuff. It's really good. Chaos Form. Chaos monster or Dark Luster Soldier monster. So they're tied together with this card. You must tribute excuse me. You must tribute monsters from your hand or field to the graveyard, or banish them from your graveyard. So you can use cards from your hand, right? Or you can banish a Blue Eyes from your graveyard. So if you have both of these and then both the ritual monsters in your hand, it's not a break because you still play it normally. You kill them. So it doesn't matter.
I've also heard.
Huh?
I've also heard that Blue Eyes players love the graveyard.
They do love the graveyard. They do. You're learning. You're learning. Here are some of the ritual monsters they have. I'll try to show you the ritual spells they use, but like this is one of them. It's Blue Eyes Tyrant Dragon. Another anime reference. Okay. This is supposed to be like, it's supposed to be generic, but Seto Kaiba uses it, so they just kind of changed it to Blue Eyes cards. So yeah. Once per must be either fusion summon or special summon by by attributing one Blue Eyes monster from your hand equipped with a fusion monster. Don't worry about that. I don't even know what that text is for. Unaffected by trap, cards, or effects. Okay, so it's unaffected by traps. This card can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each with 3,400 attack. Doesn't restrict any of your other monsters from attacking either. Continue. You can target one trap in your graveyard. It's supposed to set it to your spell and trap zone. So it lets you like recycle these kinds of cards. Like the one that like protects your Blue Eyes cards. The one that negates your whole field. All face-up monsters. Brings back this card, which I'll get to soon. Don't read it. And all that whole kid kaboom. This is one of the newest cards too, by the way. It's supposed to be a reference to Tyrant. Hopefully I spelled that right. It's supposed to be a reference to this card. And it looks like a cool card, right? Must be special summon with the Fang of Critias using Tyrant Wing. This card can attack all your opponent's monsters once each. You can target one face-up monster you control, equip this card to the equip this monster to that target. It gains 400 attack and defense, or gains 400, and also it can attack 3 times per turn. So that's why that card can like you can use this card to like, and then special summon the other one, and then like this whole thing. Yeah, so there's that. And the trap card, target one dragon you control, equip this card to it. It gains 400. Also, it can make up to 2 attacks per turn during each battle phase. Once per turn, attacks on monsters. That's important. Once per turn, during the end phase, if this card destroy this card. That's an okay card. You don't worry about those cards though, because you don't need them. So that's how you summon this card, because they just made it, and then they just made it for Blue Eyes for some reason, because they need it. Continue. Twin, read this card.
Okay, must be either fusion summoned or special summoned by sending the above monsters you control to their graveyard. Cannot be destroyed by battle. This card can make up to 2 attacks on monsters during each battle phase. At the end of the damage step, when this card attacks an opponent's monster, but the opponent's monster was not destroyed by the battle, you can banish that opponent's monster.
You don't need a polymerization to summon this card, because the first card, the first line of text says must be either a fusion summon or special summon by sending the above monsters you control to the graveyard. So if you have 2 Blue Eyes and a ton of cards have the name Blue Eyes while in the field, you can just summon this card, and it attacks twice. It takes up 1 less zone, and if they're not destroyed by battle, they just get banished instead. Read Neo. This card is probably the worst fusion besides the vanilla. It's also a Wyvern.
Bad.
Huh?
This is a bad card.
It's pretty. I mean, I personally like it.
What do you mean by worst?
I said fusion, so this one's worse than the Twin Burst, but it's also better than the vanilla one. That's what I meant to say. Sorry.
Yes, this is 3 Blue Eyes. If this is the only face-up card you control and this fusion summon card attacked, you can send a Blue Eyes fusion monster from your extra deck to the graveyard. This card can attack again in a row. You can use this effect up to twice per turn. During either player's turn, when a card or effect is activated that targets the Blue Eyes monster you control, you can banish this card from your graveyard, negate it, and if you do, destroy that card.
Personally, I like this aspect of Blue Eyes. I like someone that
Whoa.
Because
you want to repeat that?
Okay, I like this aspect because you cannot control any face-up cards. Okay, you heard that restriction? You read that restriction?
So the truth comes out.
Hey. Wait. If this is the only face-up card you control, so there's a risk to having this card.
Unlike every other Blue Eyes card.
And unlike every other Blue Eyes card, I like that, cause it attacks 3 times unrestricted. Right? I like. You also need to send cards from your extra deck to the graveyard, but it's a 4,500 that attacks like 4 times. I like that because there's a risk to it. Why don't you buy magical cylinder you or something? Magic cylinder you or something. I like that. I just like that. I like this card a lot. I like the design of it too. Look at it. Look how cool it is. It's a wyvern. It's not an actual dragon.
Kind of looks like you.
I know. I am Neo. Blue Eyes ultimate white supremacist. What? Continue. I'm gonna edit that little part out. Continue. I like this card. I like the design of it. I like the effect. I just like it a lot. Continue. This is probably the only Blue Eyes card I truly liked. When it got announced, I read it and I was like, this is a really well designed card for Blue Eyes. Oh yeah, look at all these Blue Eyes cards, by the way. Look, that's crazy. I just say Blue Eyes on it though. Continue. Oh yeah, look, it's a Blue Eyes card, but look at it. It still has Blue Eyes. Continue. I mean, technically, it does not have. It's Red Eyes. It's a Red Eyes monster. Continue. Okay, so we got through all the Exceeds and the Synchro stuff. I always push the wrong button. I don't want this in. Get out of here. I don't even know how I would spell Azure Eyes. Oh, here it is. It's on the top.
A-Z-U-R-E. Stupid.
Yo, shut up. What's this card? Stardust. I can summon Stardust, by the way, I'm pretty sure. I'm not even gonna worry about it. Continue. Oh, no wonder. Okay, let me just look up 8 Synchro. Light. 9 Synchro. 9 Synchro. This is what you usually would summon. It just makes your dragons unaffected. And you can, during your standby phase, supposed to summon a Blue Eyes from your graveyard. And it has reverse stats of Blue Eyes, but it's not a Blue Eyes card. But it has Blue Eyes, and Azure Eyes is supposed to be like for like Blue Eyes Silver Dragon. So it's supposed to be like a reference to Blue Eyes, but it's not Blue Eyes. But it's basically a Blue Eyes. Continue. Hate Blue Eyes. Continue. The only well-designed card by Blue Eyes. Continue. Because I do like it, because you can activate this to make your Blue Eyes card unaffected by card effects. But I still like the aspect of it. Continue. I like that. When I saw this card, I was like, that's a reference to the Neo version of Blue Eyes. That's a good card. This is a good card for that card. I like that. Continue. But for any other card, I do not like it because it makes it not cool. Continue. Yeah, you would use like Link monsters with that too, like in Dragon Link. Then you would like link off and stuff. They destroyed that though. I'm glad they destroyed that aspect of Dragon Link for all generic, because it was all generic and stuff. So you would just be able to like get a ton of advantage and then make your opponent not play the game, like cards like this too. So basically, instead of it being a Blue Eyes deck, it's a Blue Eyes. It has Blue Eyes cards, but with like a whole like little section of like these cards like these. Remember, you know when Team Samurai X, he does like deck profiles. There's like 3 Blue Eyes cards, and then there's a ton of random generic cards. That's what yeah, that's the whole thing. This is basically a Blue Eyes card. Look at it.
Man.
I mean, look at the materials. You just need 2 dragons. Continue. You can play this
Everything
card.
is a Blue Eyes card.
Yeah, basically. Continue. You can play this in most decks, but like Blue Eyes likes this card a lot. It's a good
Heard
card.
of that card.
It's a good card. What happened?
I've heard of that card. I don't know what it does.
So basically,
Guess
you
I'm
need to
looking
link
at
summon it with like 4 different materials, and then basically if you use like you can if a card you summon is like pointed, it's like under one of these zones, it ganks 300 attack. Then during your main phase, once per turn, you can just special summon a monster from your hand, and then when you link summon this card, you draw 4 cards and then you place 3 on the bottom of your deck. Place three cards from your hand to the bottom of the deck. So yeah, it's all the whole thing, and it's beefy too. So it's a good card. Most decks could play it, but like yeah, Blue Eyes likes this card. You can't go wrong with running this card in any deck though. But like Blue Eyes, dude, they like it. Continue, because it makes the beefy cards even more beefy. Continue. Bursting with Destruction is a bad Regeki. It's a bad Regeki. They used to love this card. Continue. Neuron Blast. Target one fusion summon Blue Eyes ultimate dragon you control this turn. It can make a second and third attack during each of your battle phases. Also, when it attacks, your opponent's cards and effects cannot be activated during that turn. So you can target your Neo's Blue Eyes ultimate dragon, and this effect I think still applies. So it attacks 3 times on monsters. No, it's attacks. So it can make another 3 attacks, then you can detach, and then it keeps attacking and all that stuff. Like activates effect to like dump a fusion. So that's crazy. So think about that. I like that aspect. Okay, I do like that aspect. I like the fusion aspect of it. I don't like this one. Or this one. The only fusion I do like is this one, because this one is like it's like an all-in. I like that. Kaiba is that kind of guy. I like that. Okay, I don't think Kaiba would set up 15 negates. Do you?
Kaiba's not that kind of guy.
He's not that kind of guy. Okay, I like this. This is what Kaiba would do. This is an anime moment to be had right here. He's like, I attack you directly for game. I negate. Well, I do not like that. I activate its effect to attack again. I could totally see that being an anime moment. That's why I like this. This is not an anime card, but it can have anime like moments. I like that about it. And it has like is it face up too, right? Yeah. Face up cards you control. So you can have set cards. So you can have this card set to protect it and stuff. But like I still like that aspect of it. I like that. And this card too. Like I like it. Like it's a good little like thing. And this card can make it attack 3 more times. I like that. It's an all-in. I like that. That's what I think Blue Eyes should be. That's the way I would imagine Blue Eyes being played. But it's not. Bingo, go read the card. I think this is an anime reference. Continue. Read it out loud, please.
Holy moly, you have to cut that part out now. Reveal 3 cards from your deck that each meets at least one of the criteria listed below. Your opponent randomly picks one for you to add to your hand, and you shuffle the rest into your deck. You can only activate 1 Bingo Machine Go per turn. Blue Eyes Monster. Spell trap that specifically lists the card Blue Eyes White Dragon or Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, except Bingo Machine Go.
So this is another facilitator, because you can add any card that says Blue Eyes to your hand. But then you'd be like, well, how do you do that? You just reveal 3 copies of the same card, and then they have to add the one to your hand.
Oh yeah.
And also, if you already have it, it's random, so your opponent can't pick the one that's different. So continue. It's a consistency booster, but it's an inconsistent inconsistency booster. So it's an interesting card. I kind of like that about it. It's an interesting card. It's basically a revive that's also a quick play for some reason.
Yu-Gi-Oh reference.
It is, yeah. Target 1 dragon you control. Target 1 dragon in your graveyard. That's normal. Just summon it. You can activate that once per turn. So you can special summon this and then banish a card because it's treated as a normal monster in the graveyard. It's fair, by the way. Continue. Majesty with blue eyes. I don't know if this card. You send up blue eyes from your hand or deck to the graveyard, then target one monster on the field. It cannot attack while this is face up on the field. I went. That's a negate. I mean, it's a pretty. I would say it's pretty okay going second. Oh, it can't attack? That's awful. Continue. This is Ultimate Fusion. During the main phase, fusion summon one fusion monster from your extra deck that mentions Blue Eyes White Dragon or Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon as materials by shuffling the fusion material listed from your hand, field, or graveyard into the deck. Then you can destroy face-up cards your opponent controls up to the number of Blue Eyes White Dragon or Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragons used for the materials, fusion materials. You can only activate this once per turn. So basically, it wipes the board. Because a ton of cards take the name Blue Eyes White Dragon while in the field deck or from the hand deck or graveyard. They take the name. So you basically pop 3 cards when you activate this card. To fusion summon one of the fusion monsters. Another reason I think this is well designed. This one was made a while ago, and I think it's a testament to how well Konami can design Blue Eyes. Like, if they made more cards like this, I would like it more. Yeah, and then you already know the trap cards. You don't know this one, though. So, you know Eternal Soul for Dark Magician? Cole.
Not particularly.
Well, I'll look it up real quick for you, then.
It's one of those BS cards, right?
No, it's pretty good. I mean, Dark Magician needs it, but like it has drawbacks and stuff, so I like that. So every time, every Dark Magician in your monster zone is unaffected by opponent's card effects. So that part's BS, but you know, it's okay. If this face-up card leaves the field, destroy all monsters you control. It's not restricted to Dark Magician, so it wipes your whole field regardless. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So even though it has a BS effect, it has a BS drawback, so it balances out in that regard. You can only use the following effects of Eternal Soul once per turn. Okay, it's either special summon, Dark Magician from your hand or graveyard. That's good. Usually you would use a Dark Magician to like link off and then summon this card back, and then you have Dark Circle to like banish the card. But we're not going into Dark Magicians. So summon a Dark Magician from your hand, or you can add a Dark Magic attack or 1,000 Knives to your hand. That's a pretty interesting card, right? Dark Magician. Look at the art. That's so cool. Look at that. That's cool.
Yeah, Dark Magician's awesome.
They said, you know, we gave this card to Dark Magician. People like that card. Let's just give it to Blue Eyes too. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so
why not?
Let's read it. Your opponent cannot target Blue Eyes White Dragon in your monster zone with card effects. If this face-up card is sent from the field or sent from the spell or trap zone to the graveyard, destroy all monsters you control. Okay, you know, it's even worse because it's only for Blue Eyes White Dragon, but everything takes Blue Eyes White Dragon, so it doesn't matter. Continue. Same thing with the Dark Magician one. Every Dark Magician card takes Dark Magician's name, so continue. You can only use the following effects of True Light once per turn. Okay. Special summon a Blue Eyes White Dragon from your graveyard, or set one spell or trap card from your deck that specifically lists Blue Eyes White Dragon in its text with a different name from the cards you control, or in your graveyard. So you can set this card. You can set this card. So let me get this straight. They took an iconic and integral part of Dark Magician and gave it to Blue Eyes for what?
It's Blue Eyes.
That's the reason. Continue.
No, they're consistent though. It has everything else in the game, so when something new comes out, it has to have it too.
Exactly. That's
Can
what
you
they
fault
do.
them for that? Can you fault them for that? It's
Yes!
so consistent about
They don't need it.
it.
If Konami spent as much time as they do supporting Blue Eyes and like legacy cards, to like this like other like good decks, the game would be more diverse. I'm just saying. Like look at this. Like this is the only card. This card came out like what? Let me actually look it up. Sorry, give me 1 second. I'm this brain fart and I'm not remembering how to spell this one YouTuber's name. Okay, this card came out like 5 or 4 years ago. That's the last time this archetype, this whole archetype, the Parshath archetype, has been touched. Okay? It's a decent deck. Okay? Think about if they gave a card with the power level of this card to this archetype. Or any card like that to any archetype that actually needs it. But no, Konami decides to give the already powerful archetype with like all these cards. You know, all these cards to the Blue Eyes card players. Don't get me started on those Dark Magician players. They are alright. I just don't understand that. Like, I get it. Also, by the way, the Xyz variants of this deck of the Blue Eyes can play Zeus. You already know what Zeus does. Come on.
Sharks.
Huh?
Sharks.
Sharks don't exist. Continue. Nash exists. Where is Nash? Where's that deck? Right here. I'm making it right now. Like you can see Zeus right there. Continue. You can see all the water support cards here too, by the way. It's not about that though. So, do you have any arguments against that card, Cole? Against Blue Eyes being like overly just supported and then overrated and then people complain?
Are you gonna end the
Okay,
video
no. Try to defend Wayne.
Okay. Can't. He complains. He says he can't draw the same cards.
Cause he has all these. I need to add a Melody of Awakening Dragon. Give me 1 second. I can't believe I forgot about that card. There's so many cards to keep track of.
This isn't going in the video.
I'm
right?
just no. It depends. It depends how it is. Continue. Look at that. They don't need this card. They have it though. Where is it? I don't want it. No.
Yeah, now he should end the video.
Oh yeah.
You should say.
Continue. Sorry.
So you should say, okay, Cole, after all this information, what are your final thoughts about Blue Eyes players? And then I'm like, well, and then you just hear censored, and then it ends.
I'm so sorry. There's this one little thing to go. Read this card's effect.
If this card is sent to the graveyard, add 1 Blue Eyes White Dragon from your deck to your hand.
Notice how there's not a once per turn. So, there's ways you normal summon this and link it off, and then add a Blue Eyes to your hand, Blue Eyes White Dragon to your hand. But like, there's ways to like continuously loop this effect by like shuffling the Blue Eyes back in the deck, which the Fusion does, Red Eyes Ultimate Fusion does. So you can just keep getting advantages like that, and then trade in Melody of Awakening Dragon. You didn't see that. Like it adds it. You discard a card. You can discard the there's so many synergies in there. And there's this card. all the related cards of this card. Like, look at that. Like the Rhapsody one, like if you control that, which could be Dictator of D, King of D. This is card switch summon itself. This card's okay, but like like there's so many synergies in there. There's so many ways to build it. You can't build a deck against it because you could always. They could always go Blue Eyes, Skill Drain, Good Luck DGs. My personal favorite strategy would be the fusion aspect of it. This card, go Burr. I don't know how I would build it personally. It's probably pretty easy because you know you have all these cards. So yo Cole, what are your thoughts on Blue Eyes players? What do you think of Blue Eyes players? What do you think of them?
Alright, for this whole video, my thoughts on Blue Eyes players.
Thoughts on Blue Eyes players?
Well, alright.
Cole! You can't say that! I just can't believe that. I'd rather die.